Alright, I don't know about you guys, but when I'm playing Kerrigan Survival, I play a lot better when I'm completely silent, listening to my music. When the beat drops, I win the game. Very simple. However, when I'm talking, I play much worse. It's a lot harder, at least I find, to play the game, or at least to play it well, and focus on all the things you have to in Kerrigan Survival. So when I play pre-mates, unfortunately, I'm usually silent, which means I'm not recording, which is why today we'll be looking at a replay instead of me playing it live. We'll be playing DJ. We'll be showing the China made here, or Korea made, I can't remember what it was. This Asia made, how powerful DJ really is. And I am curious if you would like to see me do more of my pre-made replays, where it will be me looking at how I played in a pre-made, or if you'd rather see me playing the usual fun builds and just talking as I'm playing. Anyway, let's get into this game. We've got Starry Sky and this young man on Kerrigan. Alright, let's see how we start out. We should be using that, all the part of the show as soon as possible. Always ideal to use it off cooldown whenever you can. Of course, sometimes you'll forget, sometimes you'll be a bit slow on it, but right off the bat, we use it. It's pretty much free vision, free extra fan cooldown. We'll be looking for a spot to put our first 3 eco structures, our tier 1 eco. That'll just help us get off the ground a little bit when it comes to our income. On top of that, we're looking around for a spot that we can farm with our DJ. We want to ideally be moving away from the bulk of our teammates, just because DJ in particular doesn't have any problem moving around at the start of the game. If we look at something like Celendis, which they haven't really done it yet, but they have to actually move their hero across the map to actually place an eco down, as is something like a spirit, and then Prophet has to go to other teammates. Something like Tosh, Team Nova, or DJ can just send off their units and they can be the ones that filling in a spot where the rest of the teammates aren't farming, because they can just position themselves very easily. 1 crowd pacifier, 2 fans. We see a Ling Ball, so we're gonna have to speed out of here actually. Looks like I'm doing a little bit of just, okay, they don't send it after me, very nice. Use that 2 gas to make one of our structures. Probably should be making a fan here, yeah, there we go. Can be a bit risky placing it if we don't know where Lings around us are or anything, or where Kerrigan is, because it takes some time to spawn in, but, as long as that Ling Ball is sent off, which it was, I should be just making those fans. Trying to farm here. Either tank with the DJ, ideally, if they do end up hitting a unit, best that hits the crowd pacifier. Obviously, very big health difference, 40 in the fans, 200 in the crowd pacifier. Kerrigan is down the bot side, bot left side. That's not a dead Nova, right? Yeah, this game was, if you can't tell by the map, it was played ages ago. So it will be interesting to see what happens here. I know the general outcome, but so once we get a group of fans, minimum 5, takes 5 fans to kill a 0-0 Ling. Usually I do 6, just in case one of the fans dies on a ramp. We send that off, and it has to have at least 1 all a part of the show on it, and that will allow it to not just get vision on that little outpost, but anytime it kills something, it's going to reduce the cooldowns of my fan charges. So that's going to be, if it doesn't get hit by the enemy, it is fairly easy to Ling Ball for the Zerg, but if it doesn't get hit anytime soon, it will pay for itself very easily, and it'll also get us some gas and some map control. So definitely want to go for that, although I am starting to float 300 minerals. Pretty good time to send off some units to look for an eco spot. Looks like I'm maybe sending it top mid, so one of those will probably turn into a disco ball. 3 will jump inside, and then as long as we've got 1 fan with all the part of the show out there, we can spawn fans from the disco ball and then use that as an outpost as well to defend that eco. But we definitely want to get that going, since we're now starting to float 500. We'll be able to place 2 structures here. Should be rotating a little bit, trying to keep somewhat away from Kerrigan. Kerrigan can dash on our units, clear them out, our fans, our crowd pacifier. And since our units are pretty much our income at this stage of the game, other than the crowd pacifier, we definitely want to be keeping them alive, outside of, just not feeding gas. And they're very vulnerable units. As long as you've got your speed boost, you can run away from Kerrigan, but once it's down, you're vulnerable to even just roaming Lings. So we try to keep an opposite, looks like a pause went off there, try to keep an opposite side than Kerrigan, which she appears to be, was she up here? Yeah, she's up here. So try to stay away from her, sending off more units to act as outposts, keep that main eco. They do hit it with a Ling Ball, I should salvage that, yeah. And I could either move my disco ball a little bit, very slow move speed, so if you're ever versing a DJ and you hit one of their early ecos, chances are they're going to eco in roughly the same spot, because that disco ball has incredibly low move speed, and you'd rather not make another disco ball. Looks like we are just keeping it in the same spot. Could have moved it here, could have moved it down here or something, or even here, but in general it's going to be in a very similar area to where you just salvaged. Misplaced that tier 1 structure, disgusting, lost like 13 minerals there. It is kind of GG, and we should remake, but I suppose not. We also lose our fan with all the part of the show on it up here, so we no longer get fan charges or fan cooldown from farming with that outpost. But still, I'm going to defend the eco, mostly because it's an awkward spot to hide. Randomlings are likely to run into it, so we just defend it instead. Setting up outposts as I go with these all the part of the show fan groups. This one's still up, which is actually massive. And how much fame are we at? 23. I mean, we're at plus 21 minerals per second at 7 minutes in. It's a pretty good spot to be in. And I reckon I'm probably gonna, at this point, if I were jumping in game here, I'd be thinking about setting up another potential eco spot. You don't have to immediately turn the fan into a disco ball and put stuff in it, but you do want to at least defend an area that you can later use to transform a fan into a disco ball and start making eco there. If I had to salvage up here, I could have a fan group here, works as an outpost, but also as a secondary eco spot for later on. Looks like I instead put it here, which is it's a good farm spot, but not a great spot for a second eco, so hopefully I do set that up at some point, because at the moment I'm not super vulnerable really, because I've still got a lot around the map, and if I have to salvage this, I'm still in a great position, but it would just be faster if I had that already prepared second eco spot, which it looks like I might be going for here, because this is quite a decent spot for it. Where is Kerrigan at the moment? Can I, who is on Kerrigan? Starry Sky, good. That's one of the only names I can actually read. So, okay, they're heading up to the eco. Let's see how I deal with this. Pretty good timing for me. I mean, it'd be a better timing if it didn't happen at all. But I am now getting that second or secondary potential eco spots, so salvaging here, it's pretty easy to get my minerals back into my eco pretty fast. Sitting at 47 gas as well, mostly because of these fan outposts around the map, and I'm at plus 40 per second. I'm in such a good spot here. But yeah, I am not running out of gas anytime soon, even though I've been constantly making eco and not making any units other than fans, which pretty much count as eco. Looks like she actually missed it. Okay, well that's a fucking shame for them, not for me. I am expanding, corner eco gets hit there, expanding it a little bit, just because, I mean, I had stuff to spend. Like, this eco at this point is just so expendable as well, it's like not a big deal if I have to salvage it or if it gets hit or something. Oh yeah, what happened? I think Spirit died. Yeah, Spirit died earlier, I think, and then like rage quit or something. I don't know. But it's fine, we're still going. Yeah, I mean, I'm just at plus 50 per second at 10 minutes in. It's a really, really good spot to be in. I can start getting map control. I'm still at a lot of gas, knowing me. I'm going to play it very greedy and just keep ecoing. Because, I mean, why not? You could win or you could win harder. It's always fun to win harder, right? Okay, I do have to salvage that. That's pretty big, actually. I am going to have to immediately put it into that eco down here. I could use the outpost up here I just made as well for a compact eco. Might have to start, yeah, placing tier 2 structures just because I've got so much that spamming tier 1, I mean, it's still efficient, it's just not action efficient, right? I'm limited as a human. I can't just fill the whole map up with tier 1 right away. So we get 1-1 there. Should have a little bit earlier, to be honest. I have a decent amount of units around the map and it does help the fans a little bit. But yeah, we're 1-1 now. We'd make a crowd pacifier to defend the eco with all the part of the show on it. Prioritize all the part of the show on the crowd pacifier since it's a lot harder to die to random links. Oh, we have this little outpost down here as well. Didn't see that go up. Now we're just going to make more eco. And at this point, I'm starting to think of what's my game plan. Because I could do okay map control. It's not really DJ's forte. But you can contribute to it, as we have been throughout the whole game. But it's not really the finisher that DJ goes for. You either want to push or base, ideally. Because you do get outscaled in the late game. You're not the strongest, you're a strong late game class. But your mid game is like one of the most powerful in the game as DJ. One of the most powerful mid game classes. So we are going to want to take advantage of that and either push or base. I'm probably going to look to push. Turn those into crowd pacifiers. I can cloak them as well. Yep, there we go. Unfortunately, not only do they scan, but they did kill one of them, so the lings were able to get behind them. Simply going to have to salvage it, is what it is. Make sure we have autocast on the fans every time we salvage so that we just make them on our DJ. If you didn't know, when you salvage your eco, it turns into a bunch of fan charges on your DJ relative to how much eco you salvage. We get the manager out, which means a couple of things. One, we could use it to defend our eco with that anti-gravity zone. Makes it much harder for them to kill the eco when they're all lifted up, and it means we can attack them without them attacking back if they don't have range themselves. Also means that we are probably going to think about pushing, because we now can recall our DJ, which, you know, if I've got, usually the push with DJ is a bunch of subwoofers on your hero, so I can recall the subwoofers and my DJ to defend the eco that the manager is at if I choose to, or if I'm pushing versus a Niadra and the Kerrigan comes to attack me as well, I can recall my DJ to get out of there, because you can deal with one hero at a time. And honestly, if you're ahead enough, you can deal with 2 heroes at a time. What name do I pick, by the way? But obviously, it's ideal not to deal with 2 heroes at a time. Oh, Monkey Roo, of course. It's ideal not to deal with 2 heroes at a time, so usually best to just recall and then go in later. So I'm sitting at plus nearly 100. What upgrades do I have? Still 1-1, I imagine. Usually don't get 2-2 or the subwoofer upgrade until you want to kind of get them all at once, or at least like 2 attack and the subwoofer upgrade. Okay, well here we go. Here's an example. Looks like they lingballed us. We lift them up, and then as long as we have subwoofers, not as effective with the crowd pacifiers, but it still works. Doesn't work at all with the fans. Lifting up units makes them count as air units, and fans only have ground attack. But yeah, we can pretty easily take out a ling ball, especially if we get those subwoofer upgrades, which we have now because we've made subwoofers. So why not? Gonna look for 2 defense, I imagine. As I said, once we start getting, yeah, there we go. Once we start getting the upgrades, we kind of want to get them all at once. So I'm gonna cut eco a lot. I'm probably gonna make more subwoofers here. I can push with 1-2. I don't need the 2 attack. Of course, it's nice, but there's no point getting 2 attack when you don't have units to make use of it on. So we go for the subwoofers instead. Try to speed around a little bit so I can dodge or a bit of the storm, so it doesn't just kill all my fans. And here we go. Here's a push. We're gonna see if they can push us back. I'm not sure where Kerrigan is on the mini map. I forgot what color she was. Actually, I could just click up here, can't I? All right, they're purple. So, I mean, so far we're just versing Niadra. If it gets a problem like it is here, yep. I was gonna say, great time to recall, not just because we're getting pushed at our eco, but we got, Niadra did a great job surrounding us with units there, with Pigolisks, and I was kind of in a bad position to fight back. If we were in a choke, I wouldn't recall there, unless I had to defend my eco. But because they surrounded me there, we recall out, we get to reposition and go relatively unpunished. We may have lost a subwoofer or 2, definitely took some damage, but we heal it up. And now we can just stop Kerrigan from getting to our eco. If she wants to get to our eco, she's gonna have to dash through our units, take damage, and once she gets there, I'm just gonna salvage the tier 2 structures. I probably don't salvage the tier 1 because, again, they're expendable. No, I do salvage the tier 1, I'm a monkey. I don't need to salvage the tier 1 because what's Kerrigan gonna do? Walk up there and just hit them one at a time? I don't care. That's free damage on her and I lose barely anything. So honestly, I shouldn't have salvaged the tier 1 there because if anything, it's just bait for free. I don't all in, but I do, oh, that's a nice fix armor from the warden. I do convert a few to subwoofers. We're getting a lot of damage off here. Do they have recall? Okay, yes, they have recall up. They use recall there. Now, we just re-eco, same spot. And as long as manager's alive, we put him back here and we can just recall to defend anytime we want. And if we don't recall, we're pushing. I also have eco over here, so rough spot for them to be in. They send Pigolisks over. It doesn't achieve much because, frankly, subwoofer's OP. Pushes them around, tanky, a lot of damage, very nice for us. So we're going to go for that tier 2 eco. It's very compact. And if Kerrigan wants to go back up there, again, I recall. Apparently, no, I don't. Why the fuck do I have manager out here? Okay, yeah, I'm sending it back now. Questionable choice. I guess just a misclick. So we'll recall back to this and defend it. And they're just going to take damage and have to, like, pretty much stay on one side of the map the whole time to focus down one player. Or they can try to deal with the other 6 or so teammates, or 5 I suppose, one's dead, Warden's on us, and try to clear the map, but then I'm just going to push, and honestly, Niadra's not going to have a good time. Like we said before, we recalled because we got surrounded. Nice little Hydra attack on that eco though. We recalled because we got surrounded. There we were in a much better spot. We just fight instead because we're in chokes. They couldn't surround us with the Pigolisks. Anytime this Niadra walks up, she's taking damage, as we see here, especially now that we're level 6. So that is a lot of damage if it hits, like it did there, 1200. Yeah, so anytime Niedra attacks or tries to defend this, she's going to take damage. It's going to cost her resources because she needs to spawn units. It's going to cost me some resources because I lose units, but I also get fan charges. As we see, we're sitting at 200 supply actually, so I'm going to want to be looking at that fan cooldown reduction. So it cuts their supply, and that the reason that's so good is because, yeah, I'm losing some of the resources as I lose the subwoofers, but I'm not losing that much because I just get to make more fans, which is more eco. It's honestly kind of disgusting. Here we get in a rough spot. I recall, I ping on my way to indicate to the warden that I'm going to be coming back in. As we're recalling, we send out the managers so that we can, you kind of get stunned as you recall. There's a little bit of a stasis effect. So we move the manager as we're recalling so we can get back to mid faster. So yeah, had to recall there to reposition because Kerrigan came on top of us. Nah, probably not the best sentence. Came to attack us. We now have some laser shows just because we can afford it mostly. Subwoofers, much stronger units than laser shows for their cost and for their supply. So definitely go for that unless you're rich. Only reason to really get laser shows here is because they are more dense power. So, all our subwoofers are getting stuck on top of each other because we've just got so many of them. And they're also much harder to do damage to when it comes to storms. We're versing Kerrigan Niedra. They have 2 storms. Of course, if all that damage, or all that health is in one unit as opposed to multiple units, much harder for them to deal with. Ling Balls, not much versus us. Subwoofers deal with it fine, especially when we have anti-gravity zone. We don't really care that Niedra can attack us. Like, DJ gets a lot of strength per level. Oh, here we see the Kerrigan. Gonna have to salvage that. A lot of strength per level, which means a lot of health per level. Actually, I don't salvage. Oh, I salvage now. I decide against that. But yeah, we can just recall and fight the Kerrigan. How much health do I have on DJ? Yeah, 1k health. And that's because we're 2 armor and level 9. Again, a lot of strength per level as we see down here. I'll check what, I assume I get to level 10. I'll check how much health I have next level. But yeah, the health scaling on DJ per level is massive. So you can really frontline for your army, to be honest, and use your DJ to kind of push around the Zerg heroes and deal with, or fuck around with their positioning. We do lose a bit there, but we also did a lot of damage, I believe. I think that was 10k. Not as much, maybe not worth it necessarily, but still we are not in a bad spot. We're just going to re-eco there. Mostly just because it was a slow reaction for me to salvage, I believe. But yeah, they are down to 25k, and honestly, their mid's looking pretty sparse. Obviously, they've got no creep around the top side here as we've been pushing. Team is doing a little bit of push to push back some of the side creep and stuff, but we're going to be getting into mid and just clearing out any tech they have. Unless Kerrigan comes, like, we can deal with one hero at a time. If Kerrigan comes, then they can defend their mid, but then she's not doing anything on the map and we just recall. So it's a rough spot for them to be in. But we are down to plus 30 per second, and as I said, yeah, here we go. They have to come deal with this. I miss a few units on the recall, but that's what happens. She goes out of the way to come back mid to defend because she has to. I just recall. A little bit of Hydras on the side there, actually quite annoying. Does limit where I can eco, but it's not going to stop me from ecoing there. It's just a little bit less space. I have to make it more compact. But honestly, I mean, I'm down to 98 supply. I believe I do have the fan cooldown though. Yeah. But anyway, as I was saying, we do get outscaled in the late game. Our strongest point is the mid game. We've kind of left that area. Zerg is going to start outscaling us in general, but especially because we only have plus 40 per second now. We've absolutely done more damage than we need to in terms of a team game, but it's going to get more and more difficult for us to clear this out, or close this out rather, if we can't do some serious damage soon. So we're going to keep looking for that push. At a certain point, Zerg is going to, they should have 3 range now actually. No, only 2 range. I guess they just don't have much eco. But yeah, they once they get 3 range and high enough level, my DJ will have a hard time tanking the Niedra. So it'll be harder for me to push because you kind of need your hero to push his DJ. And then also my units are just going to get outscaled. So we really need to keep putting on this pressure. Absolutely not just sitting on our eco defending it. Nice little flank there with the Pigolisks. We see that, yeah, they're starting to do some serious damage to me. I have to recall here because the Kerrigan came in as well. Okay, just recall out to the eco, hardly punished. I forgot to check how much health do I have. I'm level 10 now, I gained like 100 health. So yeah, it's pretty good. pretty good scaling. And as we ping there, we are going to be going back in. They're sending units to us. They know our eco's up there. They have for a long time, obviously. They definitely want to clear it out. We're not going to let it happen, because every time we recall, I mean, our path is just directly back to where their units are going to be rallied from. The only way they can really get units there is either Kerry gets to it, or if they send units there while I'm pushing mid. And if units are going there while I'm pushing mid, they're not defending, obviously, so rough spot. I have to eco out in the open there because we know the Hydras are still around. Oh, and we recall. Did we see Kerrigan? We did. So yeah, like, what's she gonna do? It's rough. It's rough. And we melt arm or tier 2 uniballs pretty easily because base drop just like one-shots them. No need to salvage. If she wants to spend time, like earlier, hitting that eco, it means we get damage on her. And when she has this much health, which is none now, she obviously can't afford that. And there we go. Big gas, big damage. Not many minerals, but you don't need that much as DJ. Just the early game.